Currently, Jinwoo was still trapped inside a red gate, a dungeon resembling a dense jungle. After making his way through the forest, Jinwoo finally encountered the dungeon boss, a creature resembling Hylos. The monster said, "Hey, human! Are you the one who slaughtered my comrades? I must admit, I'm impressed with you. You even dared to come here alone and speak our language. But this will be the end of your journey. My comrades have already contacted you. Come out." Strangely, no monsters appeared. The monster was confused as to why none of its comrades had shown up. Jinwoo calmly said, "Did you think I came here alone? That's funny." "Come out!" he shouted. Amidst the rising smoke and fog, the shadow army appeared, carrying the corpses of monsters. It turned out Jinwoo's shadow soldiers had silently wiped out the monster horde. Seeing that, the boss monster couldn't believe it and became enraged. "Damn it!" Once the shadow army had assembled, Jinwoo gave the command, "Attack!" At the same time, the shadow soldiers immediately started moving to attack. And at that moment, the remaining monster army began to attack. The two forces began battling each other. Iron and General High Orc were now cutting through the monsters with extreme brutality. On one side, several monsters started attacking Jinwoo, but the tank from behind quickly eliminated the monsters with its claws. Seeing his army continuously being destroyed, the boss monster became furious. He shouted, "You bastard! Enough of this nonsense!" But in the blink of an eye, Beru, with his claws, severed the monster's right arm. Meanwhile, Igris from below slashed the monster's left leg. Of course, the monster lost its balance and fell. Tusk from the front then activated his gravity magic, reverse gravity. Immediately, the monster was subjected to a strong gravitational force, making it unable to move. Jinwoo then approached and said, "Now answer my question. The pain will lessen if you answer quickly." However, in the end, the monster couldn't provide an answer. Jinwoo muttered, "Damn it, I still can't get any information. The system must be interfering again." Jinwoo then took a key from his inventory system since the requirements had been met. The details of the key were revealed. It was a key to enter the Kartanon Temple. Its location would be revealed after some time. Jinwoo then remembered his past during the double dungeon incident. This system is forcing me to go there again, to where all of this began. But this time, it will not be like before. If all of this has been planned from the start, then just wait. I will definitely go there. The scene then shifted to America. There, the voice of a hunter in a high-level dungeon could be heard. The hunter was scared and said, "Who are you?" It turned out the figure in front of the hunter was the Frost Monarch. Shortly after, another mysterious figure appeared from a gate. He was Yogamant, the Transfiguration Monarch. The Frost Monarch asked, "What are you doing here, Yogamant?" Yogamant replied, "I came to inform you about the small eastern lands where the Shadow Monarch resides. And besides that, it seems the rulers are trying to wipe out Ligia in the southern lands. So I'll be going there. And one more thing, I've heard some interesting news. Someone on this earth is said to be the brightest shard of light." The Frost Monarch laughed and said, "Ha ha ha, how interesting. All right, leave him to me." But suddenly the Frost Monarch sensed someone's presence and said, "It seems we've attracted attention. This person seems to have the power of a ruler's shard." At that moment, an uninvited guest arrived. It was Sung Il-hwan, Jinwoo's father. The man said, "Small eastern lands? Do you mean Korea? Why are you so interested?" Yogamant answered, "Let's just go. I don't want to waste time dealing with him." The Frost Monarch said, "Try to catch us if you can." Quickly, Jinwoo's father drew his weapon to attack. "I won't let you escape so easily." But in a critical moment, the Frost Monarch casually blocked the attack with a wall of ice. As a result, a massive explosion occurred. The scene then returned to where Jinwoo was. After finishing the Red Gate, Jinwoo had returned to his office, carrying a bag filled with high-quality mana crystals. And of course, Jin-ho, upon seeing him, was astonished. "Hyung-nim, you're amazing. With all of this, we won't need to worry about the workers' wages." "Huh? What workers are you talking about?" Jinwoo asked. Jin-ho continued, "Did you forget that we need more members? But before that, there's an important issue we need to settle. Have you decided on a name for our guild?" Jinwoo suddenly realized that their guild still didn't have a name. I completely forgot about that, Jinho. How about we call it Solo Guild? A guild that works solo. Jinho was shocked when he heard the ridiculous name. But I can't argue with that since Hyungnim always fights alone. But still, that name sounds silly. In the middle of their conversation, someone knocked on the door. Jinho then opened it. The person asked, "Is this the guild office of Hunter Sung Jinwoo?" Jinho answered, "Yes, it is." When Jinho saw the person's face, he was astonished. It turned out the person was Hunter Cha Hae-In. Jinwoo asked, "What brings you here, Miss Cha Hae-In?" Shyly, Cha Hae-In said, "I'd like to join your guild." Jinwoo was a little surprised. Why does Hunter Cha suddenly want to join my guild? Not understanding, he then asked, "Did guild leader Choi Jong-in throw you out?" Cha Hae-In replied, "The leader didn't throw me out." "Then why do you want to join the solo guild?" Jinwoo asked. Hearing this, Cha Hae-In was taken aback. "Huh? Your guild's name is Solo Guild?" Jinwoo answered, "Is there a problem with the guild name that I and the vice president picked?" "Huh? Wasn't it you who decided on that name, Hyungnim?" Jinho looked pale. Jinwoo said, "I thought your silence meant you agreed with that name, Jinho." "Well, never mind," Jinwoo thought to himself. "I don't understand why the name I suggested is so unacceptable." Setting that issue aside, Jinwoo then looked back at Cha Hae-In. Jinwoo asked, "Are you sure you want to join our guild?" "This place doesn't mean anything to you, Hunter Cha. We barely have any money, so we can't afford to hire a hunter like you." On the other hand, Hae-In was slightly confused about how to explain herself. "If I explain my real reason to him, he will probably think I'm crazy," Cha Hae-In thought. She then remembered the past when she first met Jinwoo. From the very beginning of their meeting, Cha Hae-In felt attracted to him because he had a unique scent compared to other hunters. And since that first meeting, her curiosity about Sung Jinwoo had only deepened. She also kept searching for information about Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Cha Hae-In knew that many netizens hated him. But after looking deeper into it, she realized that Jinwoo wasn't a bad person. Her interest grew even more when she found out that Jinwoo had saved her life from the brink of death during the raid on Jeju Island. Yes, in the end, Cha Hae-In had fallen for Hunter Sung Jinwoo, and at that moment, Cha Hae-In's face turned red. She thought to herself, "How do I keep all of this inside? All I want is to stay by his side for the rest of my life." But there's no way I can say that directly. She became flustered, her face turning even redder. However, on the other hand, Jinwoo was not very perceptive. Jinwoo was still wondering, why isn't she answering my question? And why is her face red? She's definitely hiding something, but for sure she's been preparing for this for a long time. Jinwoo then asked again, "Can you answer my question from earlier?" Feeling embarrassed, Hae-In answered, "Comfortable. This is the first time I've felt comfortable. So may I join your guild, Hunter Sung?" Hearing Hunter Cha's response, Jinwoo and Jinho were both shocked. Jinho whispered, "What did you do to her for her to act like this, Hyungnim?" "I don't know either," Jinwoo whispered. Jinwoo thought, Hunter Cha Hae-In seems to be around 22 or 23 years old. I'm sure she faces a lot of pressure being an S-rank hunter at such a young age. Jinwoo then said, "To be honest, our guild has an entrance test." Cha Hae-In replied, "What kind of test do I have to take?" Seeing Cha Hae-In's serious expression, Jinwoo felt that Hunter Cha was truly sincere. "All right, if you can complete a tough challenge, you may join our guild." Cha Hae-In replied, "I hope you're not underestimating me, Hunter Sung Jinwoo." "What kind of challenge do you mean?" Jinwoo smiled and said, "I will select the strongest judges specifically to fight you." "All right, I accept your challenge," Cha Hae-In answered. "But when does the test begin?" "Let's do it now. How about doing it in the Hunter Association's training room?" Cha Hae-In then opened the door to leave. Jinwoo said, "There's no need to go through there, Hunter Cha." Cha Hae-In was a bit confused about what Jinwoo meant, as to get to the training room, they would have to leave first. Jinwoo said again, "There's a quicker way to get there." Jinwoo then took Cha Hae-In by the hand and activated the shadow exchange skill. Cha Hae-In's face turned red as she found herself in Jinwoo's embrace. And at that moment, A black aura surrounded them, and they disappeared. In an instant, they had arrived at the Hunter Association's training room. Naturally, Cha Hae-In, suddenly finding herself in this place, was very surprised. How did you get us here, Hunter-sung? Jinwoo replied, I'll explain later. Now let's start the test. But I don't have my weapon with me right now, said Cha Hae-In. Jinwoo then remembered that Cha Hae-In once carried a hoe. Jinwoo asked, Is that hoe your weapon, Hunter Cha? Cha Hae-In, remembering that, became very embarrassed. That's not my weapon, Hunter-sung. But don't worry, there should be weapons stored in the training room's warehouse. Cha Hae-In then went into the weapon storage to take a sword. All right, I'm ready with this. It seemed like she was really serious, thought Jinwoo. Looking at Hunter Cha's strength, he knew that his regular shadow soldiers would be easily defeated by her. All right, Igris, come out. Responding to his master's command, Igris appeared. Jinwoo said, He is the strongest shadow soldier of mine. All right, Hunter-sung, but what are the rules of this test? Jinwoo replied, Defeat my summon, and you win. If you surrender, you lose. In his mind, Jinwoo thought, Actually, I wanted to summon Beru, but it seems too dangerous. All right, let's begin. Cha Hae-In then started releasing her aura, but Jinwoo remembered something before the fight started. Hunter Cha, please turn around for a moment. Jinwoo then took the Demon King's longsword and handed it to Igris. Use this sword to fight her. After the preparations were complete, Igris and Hunter Cha were now facing each other. Igris, wielding the Demon King's sword, then began swinging it toward Hunter Cha Hae-In. One slash from the sword generated a thunderstrike that shattered the floor of the training room, but easily Cha Hae-In managed to dodge it. Jinwoo, seeing this, was impressed. Just as I thought, Hunter Cha is amazing. A regular person would have already died from that attack. At that moment, Cha Hae-In, with her sword, began to counterattack. But with swift precision, Igris blocked the attack with his sword. Meanwhile, Chairman Go Gun-hee, in his office, felt something and looked toward the training room. It seems someone is using the training room. Chairman Go Gun-hee then looked at the CCTV and saw Hunter Sung Jinwoo and Cha Hae-In battling. Since when were they there? Chairman Gun-hee then remembered something about Cha Hae-In's strange behavior when asked about Hunter Sung Jinwoo. It seems Hunter Cha has feelings for Jinwoo. A moment later, a great vibration from their battle reached Chairman Go Gun-hee's office. The scene returned to the training room, and to Jinwoo's surprise, Cha Hae-In had actually defeated Igris. Jinwoo was shocked to see Igris had been defeated. Cha Hae-In then said, Are you sure that Night Shadow is your strongest soldier, Hunter Sung? Didn't you say you were going to summon the strongest one? Hurry up and summon him. Jinwoo was still hesitant and said, You'll definitely get hurt if I summon him. Cha Hae-In firmly replied, I don't care. I just want to fight him once more. I've seen him from the footage. That ant is already your shadow soldier, right? Jinwoo said, All right, if that's what you want. Beru, come out. I'll ask you one last time. Are you sure you want to go through with this fight? Jinwoo thought to himself. Actually, now that he's a shadow soldier, Beru's power has slightly weakened compared to before. Even so, Beru was born as a hunter-killer weapon. On the other hand, while Cha Hae-In trembled slightly, she had already made up her mind to fight the ant again. Beru asked, Master, what can I do for you? Jinwoo said, Defeat her without hurting her. Beru answered, Understood. I will do that. Beru then unleashed his power, causing the lights and glass in the room to shatter instantly. From a distance, Cha Hae-In was slightly afraid. This power is incredible. How could Hunter Sung Jinwoo defeat a monster like this? Beru then extended his sharp claws. Seeing this, Jinwoo immediately warned, Beru, don't use your claws. If you hurt her, you'll face me. Beru was slightly puzzled and replied, Of course, Master. I won't use them. From a distance, Cha Hae-In stared at Beru with sharp eyes. She thought to herself, I'm still wondering, how much stronger is this ant compared to me? As Cha Hae-In was pondering this, Beru suddenly appeared behind her. Cha Hae-In, realizing this, was extremely shocked. This situation is the same as before. But do you think you can defeat me the same way? Cha Hae-In quickly swung her sword behind her to decapitate the ant. However, to her surprise, Beru easily blocked the sword strike with just 3 of his fingers. But here, Beru was still confused about what he should do. His master had given him only one order: defeat the enemy without harming her. If that's the case, I'll show her the difference in our strength so that her fighting spirit will break. On one side, Cha Hae-In continued to unleash quick strikes, but Beru kept dodging every attack effortlessly. Cha Hae-In thought to herself, not yet. I can still go faster. And in that instant, Cha Hae-In unleashed her sword technique. However, once again, Beru managed to avoid it perfectly. Cha Hae-In, seeing every one of her attacks avoided, was greatly shocked. Impossible. He's dodging all of my attacks without even moving from his spot. At that moment, Beru quickly stood in front of Cha Hae-In and roared right in her face. The force of the roar sent Cha Hae-In stumbling backward. Jinwoo said, "It seems the outcome has already been decided. Are you satisfied now?" With a sharp gaze, Cha Hae-In replied, "Not yet. I can still continue." Jinwoo thought to himself, what is she really thinking? She already knows the difference in strength between her and Beru. Beru is so different from the other shadow soldiers. Besides his intelligence, Beru is essentially a hunter-killing weapon. I can feel that Beru is holding back from killing Cha Hae-In. On the other hand, Cha Hae-In now stared at Beru with intense eyes. Seeing this, Beru began to feel his wild instincts awakening. How dare you? How could prey think of fighting back against its predator? This is unacceptable. Beru then rushed toward Cha Hae-In and unleashed his sharp claws. However, with extraordinary reflexes, Cha Hae-In still managed to dodge the attack. In that instant, the floor where Cha Hae-In had stood earlier was destroyed by Beru's claw strike. Cha Hae-In then activated her sword dance skill, and at that moment, she quickly leapt into the air, preparing to strike Beru from above. In response, Beru unleashed his punch directly at Cha Hae-In's sword strike, causing her sword to snap. But Cha Hae-In didn't stop there. With a sharp glare, she activated her Needles of Light skill. In that instant, Cha Hae-In created a sword of light and thrust it toward Beru's body. From a distance, Jinwoo was very surprised. When Beru was hit by Cha Hae-In's attack, his killing instinct reacted. Beru remembered the command given by the Queen Ant when he was born. Kill the enemy. The woman is the enemy. And finally, Beru lost control and prepared to kill the woman in front of him. Jinwoo shouted, "Stop!" However, Beru did not respond and prepared to kill Cha Hae-In with his sharp claws. And, war! The explosion then occurred there. It turned out Jinwoo had stopped Beru's attack. "I told you to stop," Jinwoo said. Beru then immediately retreated and begged for forgiveness from Jinwoo. Jinwoo then asked Cha Hae-In, "Are you all right, Hunter Cha?" Cha Hae-In, still sweating, answered, "I think I'm fine." Jinwoo asked again, "Why did you push yourself so hard?" "You didn't have to go this far to join my guild. This was just a test. You shouldn't have risked your life. Why did you go this far?" But Cha Hae-In remained silent. Jinwoo then asked, "Could it be that you're interested in me?" Jinwoo thought to himself, "It doesn't seem like that. I don't understand your purpose." Cha Hae-In, hearing this, appeared embarrassed. She then said, "You're right. It seems like that." Cha Hae-In's face immediately turned red. The scene then shifted to America, specifically to the Hunter Association's office. Michael and Mrs. Sellner were seen facing the chairman of the association. Michael said, "I feel ashamed of myself for what happened with Hunter Sung earlier." The chairman replied, "I didn't call you here to hear your apology. Tell me what really happened." Michael then explained that Mrs. Sellner saw Hunter Sung Jinwoo as one of the kings. The chairman asked, "Mrs. Sellner, do you mean that Hunter Sung Jinwoo has power comparable to a national-level hunter?" Mrs. Sellner answered, "I guess I'll have to explain it in more detail. Usually I see very strong powers that are closely connected with another side, and they appear as a very bright light. I usually call them kings, but Hunter Sung Jinwoo doesn't have that light at all. When I looked into his eyes, I only saw darkness inside him. That darkness is who he really is." The chairman was surprised and asked, "What kind of darkness are you talking about? Are you saying Hunter Sung is evil?" Mrs. Selner replied that she wasn't talking about whether Hunter Sung Jinwoo was good or evil. I'm talking about the source of the extraordinary power he has. The power Hunter Sung possesses isn't something that comes from another side. That power is limitless and entirely his own. The chairman then stood up from his seat and said, "Thank you for your explanation." The chairman then led Michael to the basement on the 24th floor. As they took the elevator, the chairman said, "If Mrs. Selner's abilities can't handle it, we'll use other methods to approach Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Do you remember the S-rank gate and the guild that caused the destruction in the western part of America? America offered a big reward for the 5 strongest hunters in the world who survived that incident, and that's where the first monsters with national-level power appeared. The fire that will never extinguish, and that is the dragon Kamish. That monster has killed dozens of the best hunters. And do you believe that monster left behind a small, amazing gift for us?" They had now arrived at a special room and opened the door. After entering the room, the chairman said, "Look, this is the magic stone from the corpse of Dragon Kamish. It's been 8 years since that event ended, and no national-level hunter has seen this. Once again, Dragon Kamish has given an amazing gift to this country." It turned out in that room was the preserved skull of Dragon Kamish, which had been kept in the room for 8 years. The scene then shifted to Sung Jin-ho's apartment. Jin-ho was seen looking at himself in the mirror, noticing how handsome he had become. Jinwoo then approached his younger sister and asked, "Hey, Jinna, what do you think of me as a man?" "Huh? Why are you asking that suddenly? Where's all this confidence coming from?" They then began to bicker like siblings. Jinwoo said, "Never mind. I don't want to argue with you for too long. By the way, I'm planning to create a guild, and I've been thinking of naming it Solo Guild." "What do you think of that name?" Jinna replied, "Huh? Are you kidding? If I'm not mistaken, your ability is to summon those black soldiers. So technically, it's not solo anymore." Jinwoo said, "You're probably right." Jinna smiled and said, "I have an idea. How about we name it Ajin Guild? Ah is for me. Jin means moving forward. Ajin means I'm moving forward. It's also the reverse of my name. What do you think, Appa?" Jinwoo replied, "That actually sounds good." The scene then shifted to Cha Hae-In's apartment. She was still thinking about the event during the test with Jinwoo earlier. Her face turned red as she rolled around in her bed. She said, "That earlier was like a love confession. I'm really going crazy. Now Hunter Sung will probably think I'm some weird woman." Cha Hae-In then tried to cheer herself up. She said, "Hunter Sung saved me. So it's only natural that I'm interested in him. Right. That's it. Everything will be fine." But suddenly Cha Hae-In felt something from her subconscious. She saw the shadowy figure of Hunter Min Byung-gu holding her hand. Min Byung-gu said, "Please, tell him. Tell Hunter Sung Jinwoo that he needs more forces around him." Suddenly, Cha Hae-In realized it and felt that the figure was that of Hunter Min Byung-gu. The scene then shifted to the guild night office. Chairman Park Jong-soo received a report that a large gate rank A had appeared in the guild knight's territory. However, to handle a gate rank A, at least an S rank hunter was required.